Vetayada, Veliada. People who have finished playing are now coming for the hunt for the cup.
കപ്പ് മുഖ്യം ബിഗിലേ
Kohli.
King
And I think they won the cup in IPL this year when they beat CSK.
நான் ப்ரோ ஒரு அளவுக்கு தான் ப்ரோ எல்லாமே சும்மாலாம் நோண்ட கூடாது ப்ரோ.
For everybody who said என்னடா ஆடுறான் விராட்டுக்குன்னு நீ கொஞ்சம் மூடுறியா நான் தான் பேட் பண்றேன்னு சொல்லி he showed it with the bat.
Jaiswal.
என்ன சின்ன பையன் என்ன சப்போர்ட் பண்ணுங்க.
அவன் ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி அக்ரெசிவா is trying to play his game.
நீ உணர்ச்சி வசத்தை அடக்கு, சென்டிமெண்ட கட்டுப்படுத்து, அப்பதான் உனக்கு நல்லது.
ஆறுச்சாமி மாதிரி வந்தான், அடின்னு 6 அடிச்சான். எப்போ இந்த பேர் ஸ்குவாட்ல அதுல இருந்து பையனுக்கு என்ன ஆச்சுன்னு தெரியல.
சோலி முடிச்சு.
And when we saw the game against Bangladesh, and the one hand 6 is back.
There we go, one hand comes off.
We have seen that.
என்ன ஸ்டைல் பரியாயோ.
Topic of the IPL, I think, Hardik Pandya. One is personal stuff. Second one, IPL was a big failure for him.
என்ன மாப்ள அடிச்சாங்களா?
ஓ அடிச்சேப்டைலா.
Welcome to another episode of The Couch Coaches, and this week we're going to talk about Vetayada, Veliada. People who have finished playing are now coming for the hunt for the cup.
കപ്പ് മുഖ്യം ബിഗിലേ.
Over to you, Priyesh.
Hi, this is a overall preview of our Indian squad and their IPL form when we start the World Cup hunt to get the glory for India, and how they featured, or how they how their form was in the IPL. So this is also the first episode for the ICC T20 World Cup. Like the ODI World Cup, we will try to cover every preview and post-match review of India's game. The first episode after this game would be the post-match of India versus Ireland.
நீங்க அடிச்சு கிழிச்சாலும் எங்களுக்கு தெரியும். இங்க எவனா இல்ஷா பைய மாட்டுவான், வழக்கம் போல அவனோ செய்வான். கொஞ்சம் வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க.
And because we are going to play every game in New York, I think the team becomes relevant also. So what we will do is we will take all the 15 players and see what their form guide was in IPL. I know that, or we know that is not our class's permanent form is temporary, or whatever you can say, but this 14 or 15 or 11 games the team members played is the only competitive games they played before the World Cup. And all other nations had maybe a 3-match or 4-match or 5-match lead up with the other countries as a warm up to the T20 World Cup, but we didn't have anything. So this is what we want to do. Now we will go through the list and see what they did in the IPL and analyze where they were and what they will do. Over to you, Rama. Start with the captain.
Rohit, ராகவன் இன்ஸ்டிக் மாதிரி பையன் வந்து ஐபிஎல்ல வந்து முதல்ல கொஞ்சம் ஆடினான். அதுக்கப்புறம் he was not in his complete form, but towards the end at least I think the last game he got back into some kind of a form. So not a great campaign, but because of the century that he had scored against CSK and a few things, on paper it looked like a decent knock. But I think we know about Rohit, right? When the game is going to be, he knows what's online. Lahu, he stepped up his game again. The 50 over World Cup, we expect him to do something very similar here. We do need him to fire at the top. Aladun question கிடையாது. So hopefully he will change or shift gears. And I think when we are talking about in this episode, the warm-up game against Bangladesh has already completed. He started reasonably well, a couple of sixes, but then we'll see Hitman. Vetayada விளையாடுல we need him as the hunter for sure.
I think last 3 or 4 years he has not done well in the Mumbai Blue. Okay. In comparison to the India Blues. Okay. So if the trend continues, I think we will be a better batter for India than Mumbai. But average season in the IPL, 400 plus runs. But we don't know what was inside the Mumbai's dressing room that it didn't come up at all. But as you said, India colors is another beast. Okay. And the warm-up game, I think, was a drop-in pitch. They couldn't assess the bounce at all. Okay. Andamari pitch. So அதுக்கு some 20 or 30 odd he hit against Bangladesh. But what I foresee is if he has the same intent as he had in the ODI World Cup, it will be very good. And in the later half of the World Cup, when we go to the Caribbean for the Super 8s, we need Rohit in the form he was there in ODI.
Correct. Yep.
Now we will go to our King
Kohli. And I think they won the cup in IPL this year when they beat CSK.
நான் ப்ரோ ஒரு அளவுக்கு தான் ப்ரோ எல்லாமே சும்மாலாம் நோண்ட கூடாது ப்ரோ.
So, orange cap holder. So amazing campaign for everybody who said என்னடா ஆடுறான் விராட் டக்குன்னு நீ கொஞ்சம் மூடுறியா நான் தான் பேட் பண்றேன்னு சொல்லி he showed it with the bat. Gavaskar spoke about his strike rate and he gave the answer both in the press and also with the bat. So Ian is purple patch, orange cap and purple patch, right? He's playing amazingly well. Another Paya also came late to the US. So he got time off and he's just joined the team maybe a couple of days back. And absolutely, Virat, we know, champion player. When the big games happen, you know how he just steps it up. And it's good to know that he's in one of the best forms of his life. So we need him to fire at the top as well. And who knows, he's going to probably open with Rohit.
So, I mean, his second best IPL season in the last 17 years, and the strike rate of 150 plus throughout. So, 700 odd runs, 150 plus strike rate. Instead of saying this to the fans, he said it to Gavaskar. That's all it is. Konjo very Tanama is playing now. And I think the slog sweep of the spinners was very, very effective in the IPL. So if he opens, it will be very good so that we have a balance. You can see our preview of the Indian professional squad. I will link it here, where we talked about that if Kohli opens, the balance of the team will be very, very, very good. But if Jaiswal opens konjo custom one to get the third spinner or whatever. So I'm hoping that he continues with this form, though he said this to us because he is wearing the proofs of India. I will support him now.
Mm.
So now to the third open.
No, but maybe he said that to RCB fans. And he told them, கொஞ்சம் மூடுங்கடா நம்ம ஜெயிக்கலன்னு சொன்னானோ என்னமோ.
டேய் சும்மாறா நானே நொந்து போயிருக்கேன்.
uh, now we will go to the third opener or the second opener in the team.
इन्ने चिन्न पையே इन्ने सपोर्ट पड़ेगा.
Jaiswal. I think he had a average season. He was built up, or the build up to Jaiswal was hyped because of his form in the England series. He scored more runs in the England series than the
Right.
IPL. அந்த மாதிரி. So
இல்ல
and
ரொம்ப
they
the way he starts வேட்டையாடு ரொம்ப ஃபாஸ்டா ஆரம்பிக்கிறான். எல்லாரும் கொஞ்சம் மூடு முதல்ல விளையாடு
ஆமா.
அப்படின்ட்டாங்க.
ஏன்டா நல்லா வளர்ந்துகிட்டு வர ஊரெல்லாம் ஒன்ன பத்தி தான் பேசுறாங்க. எதுக்கு இதெல்லாம்?
And they've seen, the teams have seen 2 or 3 weaknesses with them that they could capitalize. And if the warm-up pitch is the factor or the benchmark of the pitch in New York, I think he will be found out, especially with the Pakistan and their pace. Okay.
Mhm.
But average season for Jaiswal, I think 1 or 2 times the commentators in IPL said, if you are in a purple patch, or also you have to give respect to the game and the bowler. You
Correct.
can't be. It seems he's arrogant. I'm not saying he is arrogant, but the way he got up in the IPL few times was saying, hey, என்னடா bowler அந்த மாதிரி. So கொஞ்சம்
Yeah, Shama, you're right. See, you agreed it's 2020, agreed you're opening, agreed you had the first 6 overs, but sometimes you do have to get a eye in. ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி aggressive is trying to play his game.
நீ உணர்ச்சி வசத்தை அடக்கு, சென்டிமெண்ட கட்டுப்படுத்து, அப்பதான் உனக்கு நல்லது.
We know what he's definitely a good campaigner, but based on his current form and based on what India is trying to do in this World Cup squad, who knows? He may not get a game in.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
It could well happen.
yeah. But average season 400 plus in the IPL. We were looking for more from Jaiswal. Maybe Aral fell in the last leg because of the opening partnership, which was area which they were poor in the IPL. So let us go to the another opener which we tried in the warm-up, Sanju Samson.
சாம்சன் எப்படி சாம்சனுக்கு வந்து ஹேர்ல தான் வந்து பவர்னு சொல்லுவாங்க தெரியல. அது ஒரு படம் நடக்கும், ஹேரை கட் பண்ணா எல்லாம் போன மாதிரி. நம்ம சாம்சன் வந்து ஸ்டார்டிங்ல பவர்ஃபுல்லா ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டு டுவர்ட்ஸ் த எண்ட் ஆஃப் த கேம்பெயின் இஸ் ப்ராபப்ளி வாஸ் நாட் அப் டு த மார்க்.
One minute.
We saw that. It's unfortunate. We know what kind of a talent that he is. And this game against Bangladesh in the warm-up was yet another opportunity that he floored. He could have played well.
There was no reviews.
Review,
But,
correct. DRS
and,
down the leg இருக்கலாம்.
no, the ball pitched outside leg. So unlucky. But what I'm saying is it's an opportunity for him if he's going to open the bat or is in the
Correct.
team. Because last 6 months for the in Indian colors, he had a T20 100
Correct.
also. But the reverse is true for him and Rohit. Rohit plays very well in India Blues.
Mm,
Samson is not come up to the mark
mm,
in the India Blues, but is phenomenal in RR class.
correct. எனக்கு
And
என்னமோ he'll be in the reckoning. See, because India, even with Sky, who we'll talk about in a bit, Samson can come at three, he can float at four, one and four. So there's a chance that we may play Punt and Samson in games, is what I feel.
but very very good season is best season in the IPL so far with the 500 plus runs. And he, along with the Parag, only was the
Correct, kept RR alive.
mainstaying for RR in the IPL this season. So I hope he gets a chance, and we are all Sanju fans, and we want him to play and maybe a potential captain for the future.
கரெக்ட். நான் சஞ்சு படம் மாதிரி ஆயிடக்கூடாது. ம், ம்,
சேட்டா பார்த்து பண்ணு அந்த மாதிரி.
ம். ஒரு
Now,
நாயர் டீ போட்டு வந்து ஆடுமா.
uh,
ம்.
you mentioned Sky, so we will go to Sky now.
See, Sky was also all eyes were on him. He was coming back from injury, and then there were games where he played well. I think maybe the first game he came back, or maybe the second game, Paya had like a really good game.
50 or 60, ஆமா.
But overall, again, 340 plus runs out of 11 games. But the whole Mumbai உள்ள இருக்கிற ரூமே வந்து பயங்கர ஷாம்பிள்ஸ் நினைக்கிறேன். யார் டைரக்டர், யார் கேமராமேன், யார் எதுவுமே நமக்கு தெரியாது உள்ள என்ன நடந்ததுன்னு. It is hard to keep Sky out of a 2020 game, right? It's going to be because we know what he can do. 360 player.
வாய புள்ள சும்மா சுத்தி சுத்தி அடிக்கிற.
He will enter any world 11.
Correct.
So you can't drop him unless he's injured or whatever. And that century in the IPL in the later stages, கொஞ்சம் ஃபார்ம் வந்த மாதிரி இருந்தது. So and I think he also plays very well for India colors also. Albeit the failure in the final last year, he is performed in India colors. So I hope he was fit and raring to go, because honest day, he can take the opponents away. Andamari.
Yeah.
So we have spoken about the batters. Now wicket keeper batsman number Pant.
Half Punt. I mean, obviously, Punt was a big injury, right? The accident that happened and coming back. Firstly, mentally making the adjustments, and then the physical recovery from the accident, then getting the groove back. So we were all very curious to see how the IPL will play out. He had a pretty good campaign. For somebody, given all these circumstances and captaining Delhi, Paya was like back. So I think it's good, because even though in 2020 Pant has not been truly a great player for India, we have seen him more win games for India and tests and other places. We know what he can do.
Yeah.
And when we saw the game against Bangladesh, and the one hand six is back, right? The kai just slides off.
There we go. One hand comes off. We have seen that.
And then the Kira Wundane Adipan over fine leg, all those shots were back. So I think even based on a pretty decent campaign, right? He had like 400 plus runs. IPL, and then hopefully we need him to be firing when he plays for India.
Yeah, with the context of his return from the injury, I thought it was a very, very good campaign. near 50 runs in the first season, and in the first 7 or 8 games, he was only maybe 70 or 80% fit.
Mm-hmm.
We could see that you couldn't run the tours very quickly or whatever.
Correct.
But kudos to him to breach mind over matter to
Mm.
come back,
Correct.
and even in the Bangladesh game, Konjo he was struggling to
Initially.
run. Uh,
No.
so I hope is fit enough, to play the Super 8 or against the super teams. But it is a very, very, uh, you know, uh, varied or variable cog in the batting
Mm-hmm.
lineup because he can float also.
Mm-hmm.
So
Correct.
if you want somebody at 4 instead of 5 or 6, he can come up. Okay.
Correct.
Andamari. And he gives us the left-hander option also. If we are not playing Jaiswal, then we have till punt. Everybody is a right-hander. So
Mm-hmm.
he also gives us the option to float. So
Mm-hmm.
he will be a very valuable cock in the team. Now we will go to R. Sami.
ஒரு சாமே ரெண்டு சாமே மூணு சாமே நாலு சாமே அஞ்சு சாமே ஆறு சாமேடா.
தூபே கரெக்டா வந்து ஹே இது பண்ணினா உனக்கு சான்ஸ் அப்படின்னு சொன்ன உடனே கரெக்டா ஆக்ட் பண்ணான். ஆறுச்சாமி மாதிரி வந்தான், அடி அடின்னு 6 அடிச்சான். எப்போ வந்து இந்த பேர் வந்து ஸ்குவாட்ல அதுல இருந்து பையனுக்கு என்ன ஆச்சுன்னு தெரியல.
சோலி முடிச்சு
டூபர் ஹேத்தாகுன்னு பாட்டு பாட்டுனே வந்து பையன் சொதப்ப ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டான்.
Ma-
But then we know it was just 2-3 games or maybe 3-4 games towards the end of IPL that he didn't. But அதுக்கு முன்னாடி he was just striking terror in any spinner, right? பையன் வந்தாலே people knew that the 6 is on. The game that we saw against Bangladesh, he also tried taking them on right away a few, and இது வந்து the Dube shots, right? எங்கெல்லாம் ஃபீல்டர் இல்லையோ அங்க விழும். 3 பேர் ஓடி வருவாங்க, ஆனா யாருக்கும் அது கிடைக்காது. And then he got that 1-6 on the offside where he played with the spin of Mehdi and he was able to strike it out. So I think he'll come good. He also got a chance to bowl like 2-3 overs, which I think Rohit has always indicated and asked him to be sort of ready. So the medium pace all-rounder, it is not sealed. It cannot be just this one person who will talk about next. It could also be Dube filling that spot for India.
Yeah, I thought he had a maybe an average season. Neil Sonaramari first 7 or 8 games he was on the top, and then my first day announced a professional squad. At the end it dropped down.
ஆஹா இந்த சொன்னா தூங்க கூடாதுன்னு ஊருக்குள்ள எவனோ செய்வன வச்சுட்டான்.
But close to 400 runs for somebody who's a floater. I think is a maybe a average. I mean, good campaign, but average for CSK with the top order not firing for CSK on the Mari. But if you ask any player in the Apple, 400 runs is a good season on the Mari. And but I think two things about him. The short ball, Ponjo is struggling with the pace or with the slower ones. So in the Vati, if you codify to him faster, he was able to dispatch you. Last after you couldn't dispatch the slower bouncers. And in West Indies, the pitch maybe the pitch may be slower also. So that may be issue for him. And the bowling. So is he going to bowl 1 or 2 overs? Because there is no impact sub.
Correct.
So you can't play only as a batsman. Okay. So what is he going to bring to the table? We have to know, and அதுக்கு the combination should be right because
Mm,
if he is going to bowl 1 or 2 overs, he can't go for much.
correct.
அந்த மாதிரி. So average season for
Wow.
Dube in the IPL, best of luck, DCP. So now the topic of the IPL, I think, Hardik Pandya.
பாண்டியனின் ராஜ்யத்தில் உய்யலால
Pandya, Pandian. Yeah. என்ன சொல்றது? I think the way it panned out was completely what he would have never thought through. சரி, குஜராத்லேருந்து வந்தோம், அங்கே வந்து ஒரு டைட்டில், செகண்ட் டைம் ஜஸ்ட் லாஸ்ட் இட் பை அ விஸ்கர். They got back-to-back titles, and then he got what he wanted with Mumbai. They gave him the keys to the car and said, "Otra Rolls Royce car" and கொடுத்தாங்க.
என்னப்பா வீடு அள்ளுது பின்ன ஓட்டுறோம்ல ஏப்பா என்ன பிரேக் பிடிக்க மாட்டேங்குது.
And I mean, we fell short in so many ways. We don't know what he's going through on the personal side. So our sympathies, that could have played a big part in how he was reacting and doing a few things. But a lot of sloppiness in the way he was treating, even in the media. He could have just put everything at rest, saying, "Hey, Rohit is amazing. I look forward to work with him." Konjam ego was sucked panni vandirunda, maybe he would have brought people together and the campaign would have worked well. His batting also, he was playing so down the order, which was so ஏண்டா வரமாட்டேங்கிற இன்னும் அந்த மாதிரி. He didn't just take the game on.
ஹர்திக் பாண்டியா என்ன நம்பர் பேட்ஸ்மேன், என்ன நம்பர் பவுலர், எப்போ போடுவாரு, எப்போ பேட்டிங் ஆடுவார், இதை எனக்கு சொல்லுங்க.
His bowling was short. When people initially said, is he really back? Can he really bowl? அதை ப்ரூவ் பண்றதுக்காக bowling வந்தா, the moment he comes to bowl, it feels like எல்லாரும் அட்ரா வந்துட்டான்டா இவன் சொல்லி, தோனி வேற அடிச்சிட்டான் ஒரு கேம்ல போட்டு.
என்ன மாப்ள அடிச்சாங்களா?
ஓ அடிச்சேப்டாங்களா?
So I hope we need him. That's for no doubt to fire. And in the Bangladesh game, we saw like a couple of sixes. One six over long off. It didn't look like a six at all until it goes. He has this wiry body, but adicha power adira. But overall for IPL, very disappointing season, both as a batsman, as a bowler, and as a captain. We just hope that he will turn the corner.
I hope he has a mental coach now, because one is personal stuff. Second one, IPL was a big failure for him. Okay, as a captain, not even 200 plus runs, maybe 11, 10 or 11 wickets, but his economy rate is the most worrying. In the Bangladesh game also, he was
Correct.
the most expensive for us. Okay.
Correct.
So that is a worry for us. If he's going to go at 10 or 11 over and maybe take 0 or 1 wickets in the match now, the pressure is on another all the other bowlers or Dube also. So if you are going to bowl Hardik for 3 overs and give Dube 1, that over of Dube, if he goes for 15, then 4 overs 50.
Correct.
So that was the weakness I see in Hardik's game. I hope he has a mental coach, because personal, and then there are news in the last days that he went to the Ambani's because of the loss in his business also. So if that news is true, it is a double whammy, because he has lost his money in business and the personal stuff. It is too much for anybody to handle. Okay.
Yeah.
So I hope he has clarity on his game, and that is most important for him and for India. So
Correct.
we only wish him all the best in this 2 month or 1 month and play for India as much as he can, or we have seen him perform. So go well, Hardik. So next all-rounders number Talava or என்ன தரபடி ஜட்டு.
Jaddu. For Jaddu, it was an average season. Agreed, he comes down the order, and maybe a couple of. I think he played well for CSK in one of the games where he came
Two
at two
minutes.
drop, 2 games, and then he helped us get over that slump and put us on shape. So he can do that. His batting in general has been good in the last few years. He's very focused, and who can forget last year in the final what he did? In the season, batting was okay, average, and then bowling also it was not on dot. Right? Typically, you know what Jaddu does when he comes in. It'll be a very tight line and length that he bowls, and anytime the batsman plays across, immediately the LBW comes into the picture. In the Darava, his bowling were a few games when he went for like 40 and people could strike him and so on. So that means that his form just coming on from IPL is not there, but we know who he is.
ஆதிசேஷன்னா பொட்டு வச்சுட்டு பொங்கல் சாப்பிட்றோம்னு நினைச்சியா? பழைய போலீஸ் ஸ்டேஷன் ரெக்கார்ட் எடுத்து பாரு. ஆதிடா.
Right, what he has done for India, he's an important cog right in the middle for us. He can float and he can do, and with fielding, he's always going to get that amazing catch, amazing run up, run out, and then save 10 to 15 runs. So all that is in good stand, but IPL was definitely a little down.
I want to blame his form in the IPL. I thought he was not utilized well by Ritu. Because batting we know, I mean he is going to come on in at only 7th or 8th, and the number 4 position, if they the CSK fail in the top, he will come. So that's the role. So adukku nearly 250 plus or 300 runs is a good outcome for him. But in the bowling, he was not given much overs. Adike Patana is economy is well below 8. So if you give him a 4 overs spell, he is going only at 30. And if he gives you 1 or 2 wickets, that is what we want from any bowler. So I will not say his form was bad. I think Ritu Raj didn't utilize Jadeja properly.
Actually, you're right. I think that's a good point. Unless Jadeja bowls medium pace on Kudukumatan chance, Ritu Raj doesn't like spinners madri irundhudu in the season. Yeah.
Tagore had more opportunities to bowl than Jadeja. So, but be it what the opportunities he got, I thought he had a normal season which he has with the CSK, near 300 runs. The wickets he didn't take because he didn't have a bowling, but his economy rate was below 8 when the average this year in the IPL was 10. So adukku I think he had a good IPL, but he will be the linchpin for India in West Indies for sure, because it will turn a lot. Or 2 pesa irukum. And if you see the West Indies spinners, all of them are not spinners traditionally. They are Jato Mari. Ama. So he will be a very, very important cog in the Indian team. And he will come good. And Nee Solamari, last few years, he is putting up his hand when the situation is back for the Brutes. Now to another Gujarati and Ronder Modi. Sorry, Axar.
என்ன தமாஷா பேசுறாரு பாரியா
So I've seen him, Axar has gradually becoming really good with the bat. Delhi in the season, he came like one drop in a few games. I think Nadula, when Delhi lost a few wickets, he also had to come in and bat. So his batting has come really good. And he's a good backup option for Jaddu or in a team, in a game where they feel they don't need a finger spinner or they don't need a typical Chahal like spinner. They can essentially go with both Axar and Jaddu going in along with Kuldeep. We may have three spinners, left arm bowlers as well. He had a good IPL in general. He got like decent wickets, and the runs were also there when the opportunity was given to him. And he's coming in that form where he can sort of maneuver the innings, or he can also go for the big hitting, which we know that he can do.
Is replica like Jatu? Sans maybe 15% of weighting, but I think he had. If you give Jatu as a 6+ or 7 rating in the IPL, same for the Axar. 250 runs plus 10 plus wickets and the economy below 8. Okay. So 4 overs 30 for 2 or 30 for 1. Okay. It is constructing the opponents. So,
Correct.
and if we want, we can use him as a floater to go on the top and say, you have 12 balls, we need 25 on the
Correct.
Mari. So I think if I'm Rohit, I will play Jatu and Axar, both of them in the team if we are playing three spinners. So he had a very, very good campaign.
Yep.
Last 2 years has been very, very good. Okay. But unlucky because of Jadeja. So they can't play both of them in the team. That's all. I mean, how many players in India have warmed the bench or not got a chance to warm the bench itself? Okay.
Correct.
On the Murray, but is in reckoning for the position in every series or SEC, tournaments. And now we will go is to his club mate Kuldeep.
Kuldeep was also in the coming back in some ways, right? Previously we knew that he started his career with a bang, then he went through a big lull for a long period of time. And now I feel he's got the right pace of his deliveries. He's able to vary and he's able to bowl the ones that can really the googly or the Chinaman for the left-hander, and he can also slow it up as needed. I think he has come really good with the ball. Batting, we know that he is also batting reasonably well in test matches. I hope he'll never get a chance in the 2020 because that means that the team is in shambles. But overall, very good campaign for Kuldeep. And if that form carries over, we will definitely need him where he can fox players with these kinds of two-paced wickets. And the ball can go either way. And reading him is super hard. And when he's got this little bit more pace bowling in the 90s, he's really a hard player.
I thought the IPL was above average because of the England series. We thought he will do very well. But I think last 2 or 3 games, Konjo, he came down and got hit. Okay. And not a lot of wickets. I think the middle of the IPL was where he took the bunch of the wickets. And because of the last 3 or 4 matches only, his economy is high now. So 8.5, not bad. But if the form is in the last 4 or 5 matches in the IPL continues here, konjam kashtam. Okay. And maybe, I mean, I'm not worried about the first phase. I'm only talking about the super age, because I think we will qualify. If we have to lose to Pakistan and Ireland, we take over. That's all.
Correct.
The very
அதுக்குள்ளயா இன்னும் 4 இருக்கு.
so and it will be a handful in West Indies. So we want him to be in form. So அந்த மாதிரி now to his spin twin Chahal.
இவன் வந்து I think it was an interesting IPL for him because there were games when he maybe in the first half or even to the
He
first
was
good start.
first half he was in the purple cap leaderboard.
Correct.
Then
ஆமா
he went off.
ஆமா ஸோ ஸ்டார்டிங்ல ஆரம்பிக்கிறச்சே பையன் வாஸ் லைக் ஓ ஹீஸ் பேக் பயங்கரமா போடுறான் இவனும் தூபே மாதிரி அந்த
ஆமா.
டீமுக்குள்ள கூட வர்றதுக்காக
Why black? Same black.
and it so happens that Rohit was a lot more comfortable with more spinners is what they say, and there is probably some, even though we questioned it earlier, I think that makes some sense based on how the pitches are here that we are seeing. ஆனா பையன்
My
வந்து
the only retort to that is why not Varun
சக்கரவர்த்தி correct.
instead of Chahal. That's all it
Correct.
is.
Yeah, because you're right. Varun was a lot more consistent, but Chahal வந்து after that first half, பேர் உள்ள பூந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் பையன் started slumping, and there are games where Ashwin was a lot more menacing, and they are actually taking Chahal on. So from that standpoint, எப்படியோ வந்துட்டான். He'll probably warm the benches. Uh, I don't know whether he may get a game in, but he's been in the good books of Virat, and now Rohit also wanted the additional spinner. Who knows to justify him, or there are always some the Tundubidi teams, right, who just come in summa day adra ivanodan silly, they may give him a role just to see how he sort of stands. But from a stat standpoint, obviously with 18 wickets, and then at some point you were pushing for to be in the purple cap, அங்க இருக்கிற purple capல ஹர்ஷலே ஒரு ஓபி,
இதெல்லாம் ஓவர் நக்கலு.
but the runs per over was like really high.
Yeah, so the economy, or again, like Kuldeep, last 5-6 matches, they took to Chahal. I thought the last seven matches, the spinners will do well, but they did very well in the first 7 matches. But I think batters now have got Chahal's or figured what Chahal will do, because if you hit him for 6 straight down or pull him, then they know it is going to be wide of the off stump.
ஃபேமிலி புஷ்டா அது அதான் புதுசா
அப்ப என்ன பழசுன்றியா?
So they are prepared for him bowling wider. Okay, so you and is not as fast as Kuldeep, also to trouble. Okay, he guile and float land he deceives the batter. But the batsmanship has got better and better, and the bats have become better and better. Konjo Atarchale, it is a 6. So,
correct.
As you say, I think he will warm the bench throughout the series, unless it's a rank turner in West Indies that we will play 4 spinners and Bumrah. Andamari. So, but I think it was a good season to start in the IPL, but faded away the last. Now, the first bowlers to start. Rara, Vandetana.
பையன் வந்து பும்ரா இஸ் ஷோயிங் தட் இஸ் வேர்ல்ட் கிளாஸ், ரைட்? என்ன பண்ணாலும் the ability to take wickets and with keeping the economy so low.
Ma.
And Stark spoke about Bumrah. He was like saying, amazed what a world-class bowler he is, and bowling those Yorkers at will. There are so many games when he just comes back. எல்லாரும் அடி Hardik Pandya அடி வாங்கியிருப்போம். They bring back Bumrah and boom, right? It just stops.
இந்த ஆட்டம் போதுமா குழந்தை?
So he's in amazing form, and we know what he can sort of do. It's good. We really want him to carry over that for the 2020 World Cup, which I think he will. Even though he got a little hit with in the first game, it's just a warm-up game with Bangladesh and all those things. I think he's in brilliant form, and he will carry that over. He's the assured one pace bowler we'll have for all the games, guaranteed.
And the last 6 months, coming back from his injury is been a revelation for India in the England series and the IPL. 20 wickets at 6 point something. Unbelievable in the T20 format in this era. So, and is unplayable even in Vakate. So, and if you give him a pitch which is like a New York, which will be a Robin or கொஞ்சம் worn out pitches in West Indies, it will be Anfield. And we have to remember West Indies most of the matches are morning matches. 10:30 start. Okay. For the Indian audience to see it as a IPL, they have made it a 10:30 start. If it's a 10:30 start, maybe some bowlers may could reverse swing the ball in the 20 overs itself, because it will be very hard to play. So he will be a handful, Bumrah, and but we have to use him well, and that's the point. Whether it is up 2 overs, one in the middle and one in the end, or one up on the Murray. I think we have to see the teams and then playing accordingly. So we will go to the second pacer, Siraj.
Yeah, the Hyderabadi Express. I think it is a very weird season for him. I think initially when he started, I thought it was really bad. The first half.
Bad. First 8 or 9 games, and he was dropped for a game. RCB dropped him for a game. And very bad.
அதுக்கப்புறம் sort of in the RCB's run towards the last 4-5 games, it got some fire. We at least saw a few games of Siraj of little bit of old that he can essentially come back and do.
Maybe it is a ulta of Dube and Chahal. When once he got picked up for the Indian
team, நம்மள கூட பிக் பண்ணிட்டாங்கடா டீம்ல
அந்த மாதிரி ஜோஸ்.
So I think from purely from an IPL form, he's sort of not there. But if you want to give him a little bit of leeway, what he has done in the past and so on, he's been like the second strike bowler sort of for India. But given that we may want a left arm variation, I don't know how many games we will play him along with Bumrah. And these kinds of pitches, there is no reason to play 3 pace bowlers and with one of the bowling all medium pace all-rounders, where you'll definitely have Hardik, and if you have Dube. So the chances are he may not get many games, right? But form purely from IPL, very shaky, but picked up towards the end.
Because I would say if we go for through the form in the last 4 or 5 matches, he is in form. So, but as you say, if we want a left armer as an option, then he will warm the bench, because Arshdeep, we'll talk about him next. Bumrah and Hardik. So 3 pacers, Jadu, Kuldeep, and maybe Axar. Okay, so that's what we will go, or they will finish off with Dube and play Samson also, and Jaiswal also. So we don't know. But as you say, maybe he will warm the bench, or he will play one or two matches in the entire tournament. So under Murray, but I think I thought he came to form in the last 4-5 matches, but overall IPL was poor.
Yeah.
Now to Arshdeep.
See, when Arshdeep came first, summer revelation, we thought, man, this guy's got reasonably good pace. He can bowl in the late 130s, and he's got the line and length. He had the Yorker that he could bowl, swing, எல்லாம் பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தான். ஆனா இந்த particular IPL, he's got the wickets to his name for sure. And the strike rate and the economy has become terrible. People are able to spot him, and there was guaranteed where when he comes in, people used to take him on, and it's become 10 plus is the economy rate. So from a pure IPL form, it's been I think, very average season for Arshdeep. And Punjab Kings didn't do much, right? They were like, just to make the numbers, they were a team. Now, going back to the first warm-up game, it was really good to see that he is going back to the old Arshdeep Singh, where he can get the swing and he can bring the ball back and bowl in the block hole and so on. So anytime we need two pace bowlers, I think his name will definitely come up, is what I believe. And he does bring a very different kind of variation compared to what or he can go hand in hand with Bumrah for sure, to just put the constriction that you referred to in the pace attack.
I thought Arshdeep IPL was poor or average because he got 18 on or 19 wickets, but at a rate of 10. And at an economy of 10 plus. But what I saw was he wasn't picking up with wickets in the power play. So last when the batters are going for 200 or 220, you take wickets. The average will get it, or you will get the wickets. But as you say, first 2 or 3 hours, majority of the matches he was going at 12 or 13 or 14. So other one he has to improve, because if he's the power play power for us, at least 1 or 2, and then he has to know how to bowl to which batter on the Murray, and if he's the designate later overs bowler in the death, and he has to come good. So it will be a fight between Siraj and Arshdeep's economy, but I think the balance of Bumrah, Jaddu, Kuldeep, Axar will camouflage is a weakness. That's my theory, but we will see. So that is the entire IPL form for our 15 players. Our first match in the World Cup is 48 hours or 36 hours to go. The day Modi will start his third term, June 4th. So we will see you on the most match review of India versus Ireland. Till then, bye. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Maybe we should not show the hand again, June 4th.
Lotus எங்க?
Bye.